Hello, welcome to another Bulls Blitz for Sea Rage UK, where it's a Chicago Bulls thing. I'm on holidays right now, as I know Matt has explained in the last Blitz that he did, but I thought I can't let all this go without putting my piece in. So this is going to be reasonably short. Just want to give my take on how things have been going. I have been keeping abreast of what's been going on, been keeping up to date with all the socials as much as Twitter would allow me when it doesn't lock everybody out for a couple of days. Great timing, by the way, Elon. Good job. Anyway, moving on. What do I think since my last Blitz? Well, what I think is Acme are doing a good job. Now, I know that's not going to be very popular with some of you out there, but you have to look at the big picture stuff, guys. Right. First and foremost, we are not in a position to go out and get a superstar player. That is not possible without blowing up what we have entirely. Now, I know that's what some of you want, but that is not what we were told would happen. And it's not what's happening. I was kind of thinking maybe something could happen with DeBar, and maybe it still could. But in regards to blowing the whole thing up completely to get ourselves some big kind of a superstar, I just don't think at this stage it's very likely. Now, what we have done is we've run it back, just like we were told was going to happen. It's been run back by Acme. AK has gone out there and he has tried to build back around the big three, which is Vooch, DeMar, and Zach. He's keeping them as the core, and he's trying to pad out around them where we have weaknesses. You know, we've heard him talk about the weaknesses in the past, and it's where a lot of the negativity was beginning to seep in against Arturis. And that was, he was identifying the issues, but then he wasn't actually trying to improve on the situation in regards to those particular needs. In this free agency window, he has done precisely that. We needed a point guard, we needed scoring, we needed more toughness, we needed more defense, and that's what he's done. Javon Carter. Now, this guy can cook. He can score from distance. He is a dog, an absolute dog on defense. He is your typical Chicago player that we are all going to fall in love with. He is blue collar and he is from Chicago. So he is going to be a big move for us. You wait and see, mark my words. He's not quite what Lonzo was, but you know what? He's not far off. He's not a million miles away from it. His distribution is probably not quite up to what we would like it to be, but in regards to scoring, in regards to tenacity, in regards to defense, I like him. I like the pickup, and I'm really excited to see how he works within the system. So they went off and they signed Torrey Craig. Now, I know a lot of people have been shouting out for Torrey Craig. A lot of people aren't very happy about the acquisition. Personally, you've done it again. You've got another defender who can shoot from distance, who is an absolute dog. We have got a team full of dogs and goons, which, shout out Big Dave, is something that has been asked for. We have a Chicago-type team again, playing in Chicago. That's what we want. That's what we crave. That's what we need. We still have our big three intact. We still have the likes of Kobe re-signed. We have Caruso, we have Drummond. These are all tenacious, hard-nosed players. We are a defensive, stopping team. We are going to be playing with toughness in the next season coming up. At least that's something. Okay, it may not be, turn the lights out, drop the mic, walk away with a smile on your face type moves, but that doesn't mean that they aren't productive and very, very clever moves. Let's look at it this way, right? We knew that we did not have a situation here where AK could spend a load of money. He wasn't going to be able to splash the cash. Okay, he said he was in a position where the Reinsdorf had said to him that he can go into the luxury tax, but only if they were going to be a top 4 to 6 team. We know that money is not going to come in his direction unless he can prove that first. How do you prove that first if you're not getting the money in order to build a team to prove it? So I'm going to preach the exact same thing that my partner in crime, Matt, has been preaching to you this week. Show some patience. Settle down. let's see how this develops. And maybe next season, in the off season, we will be in a position to make a bigger splash, or even maybe midway through the season and make a big trade or make a bigger move for a more of a superstar, all-star kind of player. In the meantime, this had to be about packing around the edges and just turning this team into something where it's going to be a little bit more of a contending team. Once this team can prove itself a little bit more to the Reinsdorfs, we have been told that there will be money made available for the luxury tax moving forward. It's a case of the chicken or the egg, people, right? At the moment, we're trying to build a team. AK is trying to build a team. I think this could work. It might not. I could be sitting here in 6 months' time telling you it was a disaster and it didn't work. Nobody knows until we see them on the floor together. But between the young core that we have, the veterans that we have, and the experienced big three that we have, and now bringing in the likes of Craig and Carter, this is not a bad team at all. At all. And now we also have a bit of a bench because of the fact that some of the players that we weren't sure, won't they be playing in the starting five and the starting rotation. The likes of P. Will now, we could very well see him coming off the bench for the entire season. Same thing for Kobe, same thing with AC. We look at that straight away. You're talking about three players that were more or less our starting five last season. They're still here, but now they're coming off the bench. That is a pretty strong position to be in my opinion. You now have a bolstered starting five, and in doing so, by default, you vicariously managed to make a bolstered bench. And all of a sudden, this team doesn't look quite so shallow as it did before. I'm not saying we're going to go out and win a championship. Obviously, that is not what is the main target for this season. For me, I think the main target and the objective that was laid out there was build a team that can prove that they can be contenders, and then you might get your injection of money to go and make an even bigger move going forward. That's my take on it. I'm quite impressed with AK. I did say I wasn't going to go out on the guy until I saw what he was going to cook up in free agency. He promised us something. I think he's delivering. Time will see. Time will tell. But I am impressed. I can't wait to see how this team plays together. I'm looking forward to Summer League next week to see how the young guys are getting on. And who knows what might come out of that as well. I want to see DT cooking. I think DT could have a really good Summer League. He will hopefully take a little bit of a leap forward. I know he's been working a lot on his game. So I'm really hoping that that will come forward as well. That will leap forward as well. Really looking forward to seeing what these young guys can do. And hopefully there might even be another couple of surprises to go yet. I mean, we still have technically 2 roster spaces to fill. Not really sure excuse me, not really sure what's going to happen with IO yet. Not really sure what's going to happen with are we or aren't we going to sign Bitim, which I really want, by the way. I really hope that happens. Guy excites me in regards to he's another one of these hard-nosed, good shooters, could fit really, really well into the rotation. But we'll see. At the moment, that's just been speculation. But yeah, I'm excited. Two places left to fill. Not a lot of money to do it with, but I think that they've been cooking well. And the big point, and the point that Matt's been making to you guys is, and I'm going to say the same thing, just settle down, show some patience. You have to be realistic with these things. You know, you can't just go playing 2K Fantasy League basketball with them. You have to be realistic. You have to measure up in regards to falling into the right contracts that come in under the windows, that come in on the balance. Any trades that made they have to match. Salary caps are there. There are so many restrictions and complications to this that it's not as simple as just plucking a name out the sky and saying, go and get that guy, go and get that guy. Let them cook. They're doing a good job. I can't wait to taste what comes out on the table, and hopefully it all works out, moves us forward, and we could be looking at a good, really solid team in the next 2 to 3 years. In the meantime, stay happy, stay hopeful. Hopefully this all works out well. I think it will. We'll keep giving you the the details as we get them. I'm sure Matt's going to be dropping a few more bits for you. He's just dropped a new write-up on Carter and our newest acquisition, Torrey Craig. So go and check that out. That's on seareduk.com, and along with the bulletins dropping all the time as well. We will keep you informed. In the meantime, keep tuning in, keep believing, and see red, people.